had a chance to fill out the PDF, let's go over some suggested answers. So first of all, what essential skills do leaders use on a regular basis? So the samples I gave you for oral communication, give employees updates on procedures, scan a manual for information for reading. So for writing, an example could be write an email to another leader. So when we talk about reading and writing and essential skills, we're usually meaning things that have full sentences. If it's partial sentences, that's probably document use, which we'll get to. Thinking, an example of thinking a leader might have to do would be planning for a new shift being added to the department. So there's lots of critical thinking involved, so there's less problems. Document use, so examples of document use include like forms and calendars. So filling out an employee evaluation before you meet with them would be an example of document use. Continuous learning, and an example of that is learning a new procedure for coaching. Taking this course is also another example of continuous learning. Digital technology, so running a report to track missing parts in your department would be an example. And numeracy, that would include calculating costs for new machinery that has to be purchased for your department. Finally, there's working with others, and an example of that would be hosting meetings where employees have the opportunity to ask questions. All right, so what essential skills do employees use on a regular basis? So the examples for oral communication, checking for clarification when they do not understand, and not just nodding their head and going off and doing it the wrong way. Reading would be reading an employee policy update given to them by human resources. Writing, so maybe they would need to write an email to HR, maybe requesting vacation time, for example. Thinking, an example of thinking that an employee might do would be to try to solve a mechanical problem alone before checking with someone else. So if it's fairly straightforward and simple, they should try troubleshooting on their own, and then if it's more complicated, then they would bring other people in. Document use, so maybe someone works at a grocery store and they've forgotten a code for avocados, so they would go through their little document that's often on a roll in a grocery store to find the code for that item. Continuous learning, an example that would be learning a new safety procedure, so maybe they would be going to some training, for example, to learn how to work safely. Digital technology, so that would be maybe they need to send a text to the supervisor to give them an update when they finished. They maybe are working at a separate location and they need to send a text. Numeracy can include things like just even checking their paycheck to make sure that they were paid the overtime hours that they should have. And working with others can include things such as asking questions at a meeting and not just sitting there. So I'm sure you came up with different answers. There's many essential skills that people have to use in the workplace over and above the technical skills that are required for success on the job. So in the next section, you're going to see a sample of an essential skills profile. So consultants went across Canada interviewing people in various companies and occupations to find out what are the essential skills that they need to do successfully to do well in their jobs. And so here is a sample of the research that they came up with. This is the essential skills profile for a retail trade supervisor. Now let's see the number there, 6211. This is what's called a NOC code, National Occupation Classification. So many jobs have been done, and they are on various websites. I'm not going to give you an address or a link right now because I find they change quite often. Your best bet is to go onto the internet and do a search for NOC code lookup, NOC code essential skills, something like that, and you will find a site where you can enter in the jobs that the people that work for you or your own job and find the essential skills there. And this can be really helpful for finding out what the non-technical skills are that are required to be successful. This is great for deciding what kind of training needs to be done in the company. I just want to highlight one of the essential skills in this particular essential skills profile. And we're going to look at the writing for this leader. So you'll see there's a number of sample tasks here. By no means this list, it's not comprehensive because every job is going to be a little bit different, but it's a great start. It's a great sampling. I just want to explain to you what the numbers are. So you'll see the tasks vary from 1 to 4. This measures the level of complexity. So simpler tasks are obviously level 1. The most complex tasks are level 4. You also have the opportunity to save this document. So there's a couple different options. So if you look in the top right corner, you'll see here there's a little icon for a printer and also a download symbol there. So if you click on the printer, you can print it off. If you download, if you click on the download, it will open up in a web browser, but then you can right click and save the document to your computer. Immediately following that, you will find another PDF that you can print off or save to your computer, and this is a nice overview on what are the essential skills.